Welcome to the Funded Sniper Trader channel. Today we will be doing a market replay of RTY on the Sniper Apex Investing Sniper chart. We will be doing March 22nd and 23rd. This is a good example of what to look for on these charts. From market open to the next 2.5 hours, we're going to be focusing on divergence trades and filtered trap Xbox. Those come up under certain conditions. We use the trade assistant, that way we can catch the trades. And if you try to focus on too many trades, this can move pretty fast on you and you can miss out. Also, it's with identifying what trades come up consistently and that win enough times to make this profitable, because this is a 10-tick diagnostic bar and we are going for 10 ticks profit, 21 ticks stop loss. So our stop is over twice as long. So obviously we need to win 75, 80%, week in, week out to make this profitable. All right, so I've already fast forwarded it to, I'm on Pacific Standard Time. So this is, 6 a.m. And so before market open, so we'll just hit play, speed it up. We'll get to right about market open. So with the RTY, you can trade it a couple minutes after market open and catch some good trades. So let's slow it down. Okay, so went a little too fast, but we still made it in time. So as you can see, the market is trending downward. There's been a pull back up. Market didn't have it. Another pull down with less volume than this one. So that's the ODD. That divergence trade is to where when it continues down on less volume, the momentum kept it going even though the volume didn't support it, is the theory. So then we would go long on the ODD once we see it pulling down. So it's pulling down below that point a good amount. And now we can hit play. We'll just do it in regular real time. It'll throw, so it's giving us an auditory alert, and then it'll throw the visual alert on the bottom. The trade assistant, the algorithm will only take, so there you go. It'll only take it if the indicator completes. So since we're in the trade, okay, we're not adjusting our stop, keeping it where it's at, or take profit. So we will speed it up. Boom, done. There you go. So 6:45. So you're in the trade about 2 minutes. We did 8 contracts, so $360 on that one for 8 contracts. All right. So that was a good divergence trade of going counter trend. the next step. We'll go to about 720. Go down a little bit, 30 seconds. Real time. So we're not having our trade assistant on right now. It hasn't pulled up, definitively higher than this previous. This is when you're just waiting. You see the trend making a run up. It's had one pull down. Now it's making another run up. See this one over here, 4,600 contracts. This one made a run up with more volume, so it made sense. You wouldn't try to bet against it, go counter trend. But now this one is making another run up, and it's about matched its level on less volume. We'll see if that continues. Okay, it popped up higher, so we're going to go short divergence. What's telling us this? So you need to already be turning this on even before this stuff happens. You just recognize the condition that the market's in of what you're looking for. Because this can move fast at times and it just will be too late if you just wait for this. Because if this opportunity doesn't really happen, we just come over here and we just, boom, turn that off. There we go. Speed it up. Boom, done. All right, 721.40. So less than a minute in and out of the trade. Go up to the next one, which actually happens pretty quick. That one we would not want. Pulled down, trend has been coming back up. That number we need to be 125% to go for the other divergence trade, HD. So like this one right here did at 715, but it didn't throw any trapped X boxes. So, but when it's pulling down, that's when we turn on the divergence trade indicator for long on that one. May have been it for this. Yep, so that was it. So now you see this number jumped. When it had the indicator on it, it didn't meet the requirement for it. But then you got in coil chop, and then it didn't throw an indicator right here, but that number grew and it moved over here. So if you were just looking at the end of the trading day at the chart, you would have no idea what it was at this point. You have to do the market replay to do it. So those were the two wins. I believe we just speed it up. Right here, it has changed to trending down. It's gotten very choppy. Right now, that number is too large. That would need to be ideally 80% or less for us to consider the divergence trade. But it makes sense it's continuing down further because it's more volume than this previous time. So we're not trying to bet against that. All right. So 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, be done on this one. Don't really go any further. Don't usually get a lot of good trades after that point. As you can see with the trade assistant on the sniper chart, you have these additional alerts or the indicators above or right below the diagnostic bars. So that signifies like our ODD, it's going to lay a diamond. And that's what that diamond is on that 837 timestamp. However, it doesn't know our percentage requirements of what we're looking for. All it knows is that there was these two black dots on the indicators and that it had a trapped X box on it. It'll take all of those trades. So you have to read the market and see that it meets the conditions that you're looking for. Other ones will filter out some of the stuff. So like the filtered trapped X box, it will filter out this coil chop, up, down, up, down. It'll filter those out. So even if it throws the indicator, the algorithm won't take the trade. It's not supposed to take the trade because that's one of the contraindications for it. All right, so that was the 22nd. We'll go off to the 23rd. I think this one has a few more good trades. It's definitely too far. Let's go back. Speed it up 30-second intervals. Trying to trade this in pre-market. It just seems like not enough good opportunities, a good ratio to good to bad opportunities. And you have to worry about news drops, report drops, earnings. I like to wait till just the bell opens. Right, so now we have the market open. We have this new trend that started at 608. So pulled up, pulled down, didn't pull down as much. So it's pulling back up, pulled up on more volume. It's a new trend going up, a new short-term trend. Pulled down 2 bars again. Now it's continuing up. Okay, so we hit. Usually wait a little bit, about a minute or two after the market opened. But right now we're at ODD trade, pulling up on less volume. So we hear it. Okay. Kind of right at the first minute. See, we'll turn it on. Nope, we'll shut it off. So it passed up the requirement. This is why it's good just to focus on 1 or 2 trade setups. When you're looking just to scalp, I mean, having all like 7 different trade setups to focus on, I mean, that could be really hard to be good at that. And there should be a trade within this first 5 minutes of market opens. That's why we're just taking it slow. There we go. We got some divergence. All right, so we're doing right now the filtered trapped X box. Okay, now shut that off. We'll turn on ODD because it pulled down enough bars. Still above this level. Boom. There you go. Pause. So there's your 608, your new trend starting. You only know that pretty much at the 630 mark, looking back. You see that new trend starting. Up, pull down, up, pull down. This one at 630, if it dropped a couple more bars, it met the percentage requirement for the HD trade entry. But it was still a little early. I like to wait a minute or two, see what the market's doing. It was going up. It met for a brief time, the ODD, pushing up on this volume, but then that went away. Pulled down, and it stayed a bar or so, above that. That trade looked pretty good. And that actually filled pretty fast. So 632, 22, 23, 24. That was really just a few seconds after this is the timestamp of this bar closed at 32.22. So now you could always, if you see it setting up, and again, it's a 1 tick offset. So 56 plus 1, you could go, you could have that pending order waiting if you didn't have the trade assistant. However, If the indicator doesn't complete and it takes the trade, then you have to make a decision. Are you just going to hurry up and close it out because it didn't meet the requirements? It disappeared at the last minute. That's where the trade assistant comes in. All right, off to the next trade. When you have these on semi-automatic, it automatically shuts off the position. Okay, so here it's a little messy, and there's a few things I don't like about this trade. And that's why I didn't make a note about it to take it during the session, but just to point it out. So when I'm trying to look for an entry that meets the criteria, I don't like being boxed in between these white lines called mini magnets. It usually bounces around like a pinball. So if this has to go another 3 bars, like right here, for me to get my fill, it's close to that. There's a lot of times it just bounces around. And again, your stop is over twice as far. So you have to win 75 plus trades to really make it worth it. So if you win 50% of those, you're losing. So that's why I wouldn't be taking this trade, because it started on this bar at 701. Mini magnet right there. 703, and laid one up top here. That tells me it's going to get choppy. It was already choppy before. It started bouncing around. So most likely it was going to do that again. This time it worked out. But other than that, if it didn't have that, it met the trade direct criteria. For the filter track X boxes, I like to see 3 bars close in that direction before this reversal bar. And I want that volume percentage to be 100% or more to have confidence in a filter trap X box. And it already has to kind of, line up with divergence. So if it's only 100%, since it went over 125%, it met 2 criteria: the filter traps X box I'm looking for and the HD divergence. Because you kind of have these lows over here, it's just bouncing. All right, so now paused it, it's pushing up on less volume. We'll see how this looks in a minute or two. So we would have had the trade assistant on at that time because it met the percentage, but it didn't complete. It didn't have a green or red box on it. So when you're going to go short, it'll be a red box. It had the blue box, but it didn't have the exhaustion box on it. So you would have had the trade assistant on, but it wouldn't have taken the trade because it didn't throw the signal. But if you did your manual trade with the 1 tick offset, it would have taken that trade and you would have won. And that would have happened 26, so pretty much in 5 seconds. So that's obviously a very short time to where you couldn't just get out of the trade if if you wanted to get out. And that's where uh, these other indicators on the chart that tells you what your tick offset, what your entry would be going in that direction when the bar closes that way. All right. So through another filtered trapped X box, had the 3 bars down, wasn't boxed in mini magnets, but the percentage wasn't at least 100%. So that's why I wouldn't take that trade. But right now, we have another divergence trade. It's pushing up, plenty of bars up, well above this, coming up, touching to this mini magnet on less volume. So short. It passed it up, but it still meets the requirements. So there you go. So it still met the requirements. 7:11:38. So within 1 minute, in and out of the trade. But that was a clear pull up, pull back, pull up, pull back, pull up again. Again on less volume, it's based upon the previous one. So you had almost 2,800, 1,800, 1,400. Okay, time to go back down. So here's a trade. It came down. It was 2 trades in one. The ETX and the DTX. There are trade assistant for those. When it started pulling down a few bars above where it ended up, and if it met the percentage, that's where you'd have the ODD long, or the divergence long on. But once it kept pulling down, you'd shut it off. And then again, we're just focused on a smaller trade setups, not all of them, and that's why we wouldn't take that trade. But theoretically, that should have been a very powerful trade because it was multiple setups in one. And if you had turned on the DTX long, ETX long, it'll double your position size. It'll take both of those. And that's where it can get dangerous because when it doesn't work out, it hurts pretty bad. Speed it up even more. It's not going to be a while for our next trade. Okay. So right here, this 808 didn't pull up high enough. Really want to see it a little like another bar or two up. That's why you wouldn't take that trade because it really just kind of pulled up to the same level on less volume. You just want it to really overextend to give you confidence that you're going to get enough bars coming back down because you need 3 bars to close on that one. This one would have worked out, but plenty of times that doesn't. and then look at chop around for a while. All right, so right now we're in a new trend. Started down, try to pull back up a little bit. No, down again. That number percentage was too high, but that was the second down leg. So if that met the requirements for a lower percentage, we turned the trade assistant on. Now it's pulling up. Pulled up more bars this time. That number is building. So let's go real time. It's at 120% it looks like. There we go. So real time. And then we want to go short. Once it hits that 125%. Actually, on this one, we wouldn't do it. We have all these mini magnets. I think this one did work out. So we'll let it do its thing. So it worked out. 8:33. So within a minute, in and out. However, you're getting boxed in through this mini magnet right here. And then you had one above it and it through its own. It gets choppy. The mini magnets signify that it's attracted to and repels, just like a magnet. So plenty of times it bounces around. I believe there's one more to look at. And just pause again. Close 3 bars, pull the wick down, you would have gotten filled, pull back up. You barely won that one. So here, we're waiting for that number to build. So right now what we'd be doing is, oh, okay, so the DR is still red. That's a filter on the bottom, the red and green for the trapped X box. So we're going to go short. That's what we'd be turning on right now because it's 100%. You got this pull down, pull up, pull down, pull up to the same level, 3 bars, pull back down, trying to pull up again, but it's well below even just the halfway point of trying to pull up right now. So we're turning the filtered one on. Now I turn ODD on, shut off the filtered one. That way, if it extends up more bars, another bar or two, and it's turning green right here, so it wouldn't take the filtered one, but it still meets my other requirement of divergence trade. And there's nothing in the way going down. We're not boxed in. because so it is throwing that because the DR is going red again. But if we had that along with the ODD, it would take double the size. But we don't need to have both of them. We just do the ODD where the divergence went on because it'll guarantee to take it. Because if this DR changes and that goes away, it wouldn't take the filtered one then. Clean it up a little bit. See, that filter went away. Because it went away because of these yellow bars right here. If you get two of these cluster bars within 3 bars, that it'll filter out that trapped Xbox trade. It'll take the indicator away. That's what the algorithm does. Just in this regular sniper chart. So it won't throw the filter. So that's why the filter's not on right here. Even though it matches with the red DR of going short. At 53.28. So about a minute and a half during that trade. So there's your 3 wins. It actually came all within the time requirements for this day. So the previous day you only had 2. Today you had 3. And then it's a good rule, especially when you have your stop loss twice as far, to just 3 wins, you're done. If you got it, don't keep going, even if you got them all within like 10 minutes. So those are, seems like the most common trades that will come up on the sniper chart are the divergence and trapped Xbox ones. They can be the easiest to recognize and build around. So when it's pulling down right here, I like it to pull up 3 bars closed in this 4th bar. If it met the percentage requirement, I would turn on the filter trapped Xbox. However, for the HD, the divergence one, I want 4 bars to close. Then on this one is where I'd be turning on the divergence trade indicator or the trade assistant. I notice when you kind of wait for that many bars to close on those requirements, it seems to be more successful. And then you see less of that percentage, that number just like jumping around because it starts chopping around on you. That number just moves. And that's why you'll see some of these will have the indicator, the trapped Xbox, and even the trade assistant indicators, but you won't see a percentage anymore because it'll move to the next one because it just got too choppy for it. All right. So that's the sniper chart RTY on NinjaTrader. So let's see. You don't have an account to practice in, you can get a cheap funded trader account. Let's see, where is it at? You can always go down to coupon codes, see which one they're having. They usually always have a 50% off, save 50. pretty much every month. And then you would just start with, you just want to get some practice, kind of get cheap data, to give it the $50,000 account. So 167 is the full price, but if you get 50% off of it, that can definitely be a lot more affordable while you're practicing. And then they have this other one where, since NinjaTrader bought Tradeovate, now they have this option. So then you could trade on Tradeovate on the web-based. NinjaTrader has an app now, along with Tradeovate's app. You can trade, or you can just log into the desktop in NinjaTrader, so you get access to all of them if you do these ones, but they are more expensive per month to do those ones. If you want to run the sniper chart, you do have to be on the desktop. So it only works on the desktop, and then if you don't have that, if you have like a Mac, you can just do the remote desktop. So that's how you can just be trading on a Mac or a phone, tablet. You're still using the NinjaTrader desktop, but you can do it on a tablet or a mobile device, any of those. Alrighty, so that is the RTY sniper breakdown of the most common and profitable trades that come up, the easiest to recognize, how you would recognize them. So I will be doing the same for other ones like NQ and ES, but those ones have more custom settings. They're not the standard diagnostic bar size. So because this one, you go to data series, RTY, it's only set at 10, NQ is standard at 10, ES is 8. However, those settings I don't really like at all. So I'm playing around with some other settings. You load up at least 3 days of, about 3 days of data is good, always to have. Cancel. All right. So thanks for watching. Post any comments, any questions, and I'll try to get back to you.